program for tonight. Again, we will then be going ahead with our presentations as we've been doing throughout the week. Brother Kwam is here, he's fresh. I see he's nicely combed his hair. So we appreciate that, Brother Kwam. I was worried one of these days you didn't look,
Execution, Baba.
No, but we appreciate it, sir. Today really built on what we've been discussing, everyone. I know I like a verse in First Corinthians 10:31 and 32 actually, which says that whatsoever you do, whether you eat or drink, do all to the glory of God. But further, I think verse 32 is more interesting. It says, giving none offense either to the Jew or to the Gentiles, but ultimately to the church. Our health pursuits are really not something we're doing merely for ourselves, but it's something we do as well for the contexts in which we exist. So if we don't take care of our health, really what happens is that we are, hindering the world service, which could have made us much more influential and of greater benefit in the generality of our context. So really today, that's what today's topic is going to be building on. The presenter has selected about 10 kinds of foods that we can be relied on in harnessing the brain power. So he'll be exploring that, and I won't take much of his time now. I'm going to give over to you, Brakwam. Remember our time, my good son. Eh? You know me and time. We've always been good friends, you and I. All right then. Thank you. Over to you, sir. And God bless.
All right, Baba. I greet you all in the wonderful name of our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. Amen. It is indeed a good day for me. It's a very cold one, but it's a good day. Yesterday I was joking. I discovered something about the brain. Do you know that your mind or your brain does not know when you are joking? So anything that you say, it takes you serious. So there are certain things that are vividly imagined. Izolo, I was saying I enjoy this song, Izamba Nelkoshlagen. And then I went to bed and I slept. I remember saying to you, this song is going to remind me of you guys. So when I woke up in the morning, this was the song that was playing in my head. So it was as if I was sending an intention in my head to say, I'm going to miss these people. I want to miss these people. I want to dream about these people. And this song was the first song I heard in the morning. And when I was hearing it in my head, I immediately thought of you guys. So be careful of what you say before going to bed. That's why I would rather have you talk about God as the last thing that you do. I'm really appreciating this song. When I hear it, I just lose it. I start dancing. I'm a preacher, a conservative preacher, but when I hear this song, I just lose my morals. Especially this part, this lady says, Liabizwa igama lako. So it has that that igama lako has a Duduzani effect in it. She sounds like Duduzani. The only thing I said, and can I take down the font? A lot of us are wearing too many jerseys. Let me just take down the font before we go into our topic for today. Let me express my gratitude as well, guys. I highly appreciate you guys. I appreciate your prayers. I appreciate the love that I'm getting from you guys. Izolo, we had a very interesting topic. And yesterday we learned how to memorize numbers. And I gave you my phone number just once. I was not repeating it. I just gave it to you once. And your brain, you did wonders and you memorized it. And then yesterday, Abanye Ben, you sent me messages to show me what you were listening. So I highly appreciate what you were doing, guys. My mentor normally says, feedback is a breakfast of champions. So when I get feedback, whether it's good or bad, I appreciate any feedback that I'll be getting from you guys. So my advice pertaining to the yesterday's program, please don't forget my number. So what you need to do is don't save it. I want you to constantly dial it. So it's 071. You do that manually, even if you don't call me, even if you are not sending me a message. So what you are doing is you are imprinting that number in your head, at least for a week, if you can do it for a week every day. So you are taking my number from your short-term memory and you are transferring it to the long-term memory. Another thing that I have discovered with the memory is when you don't practice something, you lose it and you forget it. That's why I hate speaking for a very long time. I have seen a lot of preachers sweating like I normally do, only for people to forget after 48 hours. So it's not in my nature now of lately. But let's go into the topic, Namhlanje. I will give you 10 foods that will make your brain to be enhanced and you will appreciate them, hopefully. But before I can do that, I just want to do a quick presentation that will be encompassing also the exercises that we normally do on a daily basis. I came across a few statements. One of them being, what you eat affects how your brain works. Many students sleep at school because of the breakfast they eat. Watch what you feed your kids before going to school, or also watch what you eat before going to work. A lot of us, we go to work already tired, and it affects the productivity. I also discovered that normally most people will rely on coffee and sugar for energy, but I want to strongly discourage that. That thing only triggers in your brain that, okay, give me energy for a certain time, and then after that time elapses, you go back to your default settings and you get tired the whole day. So I would rather have you eat fruits and a good meal without sugar. Then you would appreciate your brain, and your brain will be able to concentrate a bit longer. So let's just go into the thing here today. One thing that kills your brain, it's intemperance. I just went to my favorite author, Sister White. I won't be quoting her and beating you much. I know normally Women Health and Temperance, that's what we normally do. We hit you hard with too many statements. However, my approach now of lately, especially before COVID, has changed. Now my approach is, do not give people and tell them about health and temperance and hit them about meat. My approach now is, give people Jesus and let them love Jesus. When they love Jesus, it will be easier for them to accept anything because they'll be motivated by the love they have for the master. So for you to quit meat because you are trying to please me, for you to quit sugar because you are trying to please me, all that is vanity of vanity. But if you do it for the master, like the verse we quote, whether you eat or drink, do it all for the glory of the master. So if that's your motivation, I can assure you there's no way you can fall from taking that position. So I just want to quote a few statements and then I leave that alone and then we go to the regular exercises. I read a very powerful statement today and I want to read it to you. How important is the study of food and the temperance as well? It's taken from the book Heavenly Places. It's 194. I would read it in your hearing. Paragraph 3. It says, intemperance lies at the foundation of all moral evils known to men. I would repeat it. Intemperance lies at the foundation of all moral evils known to men. Christ began the work of redemption just where the ruin began. The fall of our first parents was caused by the indulgence of appetite. In redemption, the denial of appetite is the first work of Christ. Let me try to bring it closer to us. Sister White is saying, when you cannot control yourself, so intemperance lies at the foundation of all moral evils. So the evils that we see, you can trace it back to the intemperance of that individual. And another guy was asking me, Why are you so concerned about what you eat and what you do and all those things? I read a statement as well from Child Guidance. I would advise my parents to read these statements. It's Child Guidance 408. And others were even asking, I love inyama so much and I love eating all these bad things. Why is it so difficult for me to quit? Here's your answer. Child Guidance 408. Listen to this statement. It says, the demon of intemperance is not easily conquered. It is of a giant strength and hard to overcome. The reason why food is so difficult for us to quit the things that are bad, the reason why we enjoy eating all these things that are bad, is because the demon of intemperance is a strong giant and it's very hard to overcome. So you cannot overcome that demon on your own. You need Jesus at all times. Now I have been a vegan for a very long time. I was also associated, I was not part of them, but I was associated Namasupatsila, if you remember them. They would tell you, if you were to ask them, where I used to worship as Nawan, they would come and preach to us about health and temperance. They would tell you what probably I was the most stubborn to accept this message. And I would ridicule them until they declare, no, I'm an infidel. I'm not even worth their effort and their time. I don't want to lie. To quit meat for me was easy. The most hardest thing ever for me to quit was shugela. God had to remove me the way he pulled Umfazi Lot out of Sodom. That's how he removed me from sugar. I had to lose my teeth. I couldn't resist amakeke. Now when I see amakeke, I'm just disgusted. I can't eat those things anymore. So it was very difficult. The reason why it was difficult is because the giant of the demon of intemperance is a big giant that we cannot easily overcome. There's another statement. This statement will also assist a lot of us regarding the issue of appetite and intemperance. It's found in the book Maranatha. The page is 62, paragraph 5. Sister White says this: the controlling power of appetite will prove the ruin of thousands. When, if they had conquered on this point, they would have had moral power to gain the victory over every other temptation of Satan. Let me try to bring it closer with the proper English. Sister White English is too strong. What she's saying here is, if you gain victory over appetite, every other temptation becomes easy. So if you can overcome just on this one part of appetite, all other temptations will become easy. So the devil will just give you the first temptation of appetite. When he beats you there, there's no way or there's no need for him to continue tempting you. I read a statement, it's a side note. A statement in when a lazy person tempts the devil to tempt them. When I read that, I became so worried. When you're a lazy person, you'll even tempt the devil to tempt you. But this statement, when you fail to control the power of appetite, definitely everything you will fail. We are forward. So those people that know me, I might be slender like I am. But the people that know me well, they will tell you that this guy eats a lot. I used to finish a loaf near one. So here endlini, they would buy 2 loaves, one a yami, one it's for the family. When I go to church, I used to request for a bigger plate and I would go for seconds and the thirds. I saw what intemperance is controlling me. When I stopped, I realized something, Gucci. The reason why I'm such a comedian, people would laugh at the things that I would say. I would go even to a funeral, meeting your Tuduza, and the people will be laughing. And I'm thinking, good Mara, there's something seriously not right with me. I discovered that the reason why I'm a comedian is because I'm not okay here. And the reason for that is I eat a lot and that thing is affecting how I think. But when I change the way I eat, now when I speak, I even look at myself, the Lord is good. Because now I have changed that thing. God has given me power to overcome the temptation of loving food. This is my prayer tonight, which may God help you to also overcome the issue of food. The last statement engizosiveza ke manje, and then we are done. On the issue of meat eating, the reason why I'm addressing meat eating, but those people that know me, you know that I don't preach about meat. This is the first time mentioning meat on this platform, and probably it will be my last thing. The reason why I'm doing that is today I was looking at the statuses on WhatsApp and I saw something that disturbed me. Another sister was posting posting a lot of red meat, telling people, this is what we need to eat since it's so cold and all those things. She was always, motivating people that this is the right meat to eat in this occasion. And it got me worried, which were a lot of Adventists. I remember we were arguing with another lady on Facebook, arguing the issue of eating in inyama yenhloko. And she was so stubborn. I'm even telling her, the nyama yenhloko, it's making you stubborn. No, it's because of this meat oyidlayo yenhloko. And then I read a statement. I'm no longer going to fight people with meat. This statement, it's found in the Council for the Church, page 228, paragraph 2. This is what Sister White says. And God permitted that long-lived race to eat animal food to shorten their sinful lives. So Sister White says God had to give human beings inyama to eat so that he can shorten their lifespan. She calls it a sinful life. God cannot permit you to perpetuate a life of sin. So he gave them meat, not for nourishment, so that he can shorten their lives. And then she continues to say, soon after the flood, the race began to rapidly decrease in size and in length of years. So there were giants back in the day, but because of the diet, they also decreased in size. Manje sesinaboshoti nokuba naboshoti. I'm sure when those guys can be resurrected, sibone sekunabantu abafishane kangakanani. Some of us at least we are still tall. Thank God for that. Abanye benu kuna something that is pulling you down. The issue of temperance and of food, it's so important to God. When you read the book of Genesis 2, I believe the verse it's 19, 20, and 23, we find Adam being given a privilege of naming all the animals. So he's doing so, and God is supervising him while he is naming all the animals. All the animals were coming to him and he would say, this is an elephant, this is a giraffe, this is a lion, this is a cheetah. And God would not disagree with him. When I saw how intelligent this guy was, the Bible says, Spirit of Prophecy, the book Education, Sister White says, God gave every human being a mind akin to his. So he had the very same intelligence. He would think like God. He had the ability to think like God. So when God was hearing him naming all the animals, God agreed with him because the mindset of Adam, his intelligence, was the intelligence of God. So God had no problem with Adam naming all the animals. 2, when you read the following verses, when he was naming Eve, his wife, God had no problem with him naming his wife Eve or woman. God also agreed because that's what God would have named Eve if Adam did not name Eve that name. So God entrusted that and said, this guy is intelligent. I trust him enough because he has the intelligence that I have. But one thing that I observed when I was reading Genesis, and this thing disturbed me, could God trust this man with the name calling, the naming, and all these things because he trusts him? But when we read the book of Genesis chapter 1, verse 29, we find God now is doing something different. He's saying, behold, I have given you every herb bearing seed, which is upon the face of all the earth, and every tree, in the which is the fruit of a tree yielding seed. Okay, basically, God did not allow Adam. So God allowed Adam to name all the animals and the woman, But God did not trust a sinful man, a perfect man, to choose his own diet. God had to do it himself. On the issue of diet, God does not compromise. We might be compromising, some of us. I only eat this way, Nilangeli one, and then these other days I eat right. But God does not compromise because he understands the importance of keeping this body upright and all right. So, Bazalwane, the reason why I don't eat all these things, it's because I know how important this issue of temperance is to the devil and to God. And the more you eat and you punish yourself, you are killing yourself and making a vote for the devil instead of against the devil. So I'm advising that start praying about this because it's not an easy thing. I know we normally laugh about this thing, but this is not a funny matter or a joke. But I want to strongly advise, pray about this. God will hear you. And then here is a quick solution. A lot of us, the reason why we eat like this is because our appetites and our lusts, our taste buds are normally longing for all the wrong things. Sister White says that if you have a problem with your taste buds, you need to fast until you restore the original taste buds that God gave you. So a lot of us, we are eating sugar, we are eating all these condiments that are killing our tongue and our taste buds. Not only that, they also affect how we think. So I discovered something, a quick solution for these things. I discovered that when you eat a lot of sugar, you're also killing your brain cells. When you are eating meat, you are also killing your brain cells. Today, I discovered something that I knew all along, but I found now something that I have to prove. Not Sister White. There's a magazine in the US. It's called USA Magazine, I believe. I'll just have to find the word. These guys are saying that watching television isn't just slowing or slowly killing your brain cells. I will read it again. It says, watching television isn't just slowly killing your brain cells. It may be slowly killing you. Researchers are saying that your brain cells are slowly dying, and not only your brain cells, but also who you are. You are dying as an individual. So my advice to you is, in the last days, you need to be sober and be vigilant. A lot of things are going to bypass the frontal lobe, like we discussed Tuesday, and just go through directly to you, and you wouldn't be able to distinguish whether it's right or wrong. So my advice to you is, quit eating the wrong things, but avoid also watching television because it kills your brain cells. What happens when your brain cells are dead? We are more likely to suffer from things like strokes, and I also discovered that we are fearfully and wonderfully made. So when your brain cells are dead, your brain will come up with a mechanism to clean those brain cells that are dead and remove them. But I discovered something. But when those dead brain cells are not removed, some of them will be removed, but not all of them are removed. And when all of them are not removed or fully removed, they clog in your system and they cause all these things, the strokes, your slowness, your Alzheimer, your dementia, and all those, or Parkinson's disease, or whatever it may be. It will affect your brain cells. But here's a question that I discovered, or the question that I had. So how do I restore my brain cells? If my brain cells are dead and I'm thinking the way that I'm thinking, some of you ought to be so intelligent, but because you are always killing your brain cells, you are not developing or you're not growing. What you need to do is this. I discovered this a long time ago, and it has been my go-to thing. Do you know the power of fasting? How powerful is fasting? I would fast for 3 days without eating anything. The only thing that I would do is to drink water. So a lot of us have been eating from the day that we are born. Your system has never rested because you are always eating. That's why after eating, you feel like sleeping. Your body needs to rest so that it can digest. But a lot of us, because we have never allowed our system to rest, it's actually killing ourselves, or we are actually aging before our time. That's why some of us, we might have this age, but we look like we are very old. It's because the system is worn out and is tired. For you to revive and rejuvenate your system and your brain cells, you need to fast, and longer periods of fasting are also good for your brain. I also discovered that there are geniuses like Plato, Mark Twain, Pythagoras, and all the intelligent people of old. They would normally go to fasting as a remedial method. So this is what I developed, or I discovered about fasting. The first day when I fast, a lot of us can fast for 24 hours. It's easy. Where it gets hard, it's on the second day. So on the second day, it's the slowest day ever and the most painful day. So your body, what it does is it cleanses itself. So you are tired, you feel like just relaxing. So your body is trying to consume all the stores in your body. So the food that you ate the previous night, your body will try to consume that so that it can keep you energetic. And then after consuming all the sugar, the insulin, and whatsoever that is in your body that resembles food, if it has nothing else to eat, it will go around and check what else can it eat. There's a process called autophagy, where your body starts to eat itself. So for those that have big bodies, your body, or that part of your body, it will start to eat all the fat in your body because there's no fat. I mean, there's no food, so it eats fat in your body. That's why when you don't eat, you would always lose weight. So some of us, look at me, the whole week I've been fasting, I've been eating once a day. But the beauty about that, when you are losing weight like that, and when you are experiencing autophagy, there is what we call also BDNF, brain-derived neurotrophic factor. So that thing, it means neurogenesis. Your brain is producing new brain cells. So the best way of developing this BDNF is two ways that I know and I normally go to. It's fasting for longer periods, like 3 days, and exercising. So the more you do that, so umsebenzi we-BDNF is to stimulate the production of a protein called that BDNF thing. And then it says the umsebenzi wayo, let me find it. So it's critical for roles like learning, memory, and the generation of new nerve cells in the hippocampus. Hippocampus is the part of your brain responsible for memory and making memories. So if you want new brain cells, I strongly advise that just fast for 3 days and you would see the returns. You will uzombamba ngesandla. Another thing that I discovered in fasting, there are people that have been diagnosed with chronic diseases. My best friend, my other best friend, he has sugar diabetes. So as young as he is, because we are same age with him, he has sugar diabetes, and it spikes and it gets so high sometimes. He gets the medication, but it never goes down. To an extent, he even fears to check his blood pressure. So I'm annoyed because his wife is always crying and he's also complaining, but he's not doing anything. He goes to the doctors, they give him the medication, is not helping. Then I prayed about the situation and we tried something. I recommended fasting for 3 days. And we fasted. We bought my herbs, the right herbs, and we just fasted. The first day was the most difficult for him because he's not used to fasting. On the second day, it was very difficult for him. I gave him herbs. We're busy praying about this thing. His sugar is very high. On the second day, by the end of the second day, I'm saying to him, my friend, can you just test your blood pressure? And he did so. What we discovered is, ever since he was diagnosed with sugar diabetes, on the second day of fasting, his sugar levels were very low. And he was so surprised. I've never seen him so excited to see his blood pressure like that. So fasting can not only fix what's happening or what's ruining your body, but it's also going to help with your brain. So fasting, it's very good for your brain. I strongly advise this. So if you are married, I want to say this. I'm drawing to a conclusion. If you are married, I strongly advise that you speak to your spouse that at least even if you can fast once a week, once in every week. I'll tell you what fasting does for a human being. Fasting will help you to overcome sin. Fasting will also help you to control your urges. I know guys that are married, but they pursue wonke untombazane. As long as a fagi skate, they will chase him. If you want to save your marriage and your man to be faithful, advise him or also fast with him. That thing helps you with self-control. A lot of us cannot control ourselves, but the more you fast and the more you pray, your level of control becomes heightened. I also discovered not only is optimizing your brain, I also discovered that it will restore your taste buds. Another thing that I love about fasting for 3 days is this. It also makes you to look younger. So it's also good for your skin. You might not have, I don't know if my camera is good, but you would see that my skin is not so bad. I might not be the beautiful man that you know, but because I do this fasting thing once a week, sometimes twice a week, it's also good for your skin and it will keep you young. The last departing point is this. If you fast regularly, you will also live longer than the other people. They discovered that the healthiest man on earth, it's another guy from India. That guy normally fasts for 30 days without eating, but he's the healthiest. When they checked him, there's not even an ounce of a sick cell in him because he actually fasts regularly. So I hope you would take heed to what I'm saying. God is really serious about saving you. But the question is, are you really, really serious about saving yourself as well? So watch what you eat. Think about what I told you now. I hope you will meditate and cogitate upon what we have discussed in this short discourse. I hope it was clear. I don't know which. Now I want to do the exercises with the little time that I have. I'm seeing questions here. Which quotations, Nelly? Because I had a lot of quotations. You will just inbox me and then I will give you them. Our kids love TV. Uteng, please encourage your kids because when they are young, they are impressionable. It's easy for them to learn their bad habits than good habits. So I strongly advise you that find something for them to do instead of watching television. Unfortunately, it's not as easy as I'm saying, which you can just command your kids, which from now on start reading. It's not as easy, but I'm willing to talk to you aside and we see how we can help your kids as well. But television is terrible. It's killing their brain cells. So much power in fasting. Yes, Kubegile. Don't forget the foods. I'm going there, Baba Kelvin. Now, patience of the saints. Does fasting with fruits and veggies help? It does help, my leader. It does help. It helps a lot. But for me, I strongly advise, even if you can fast one day without eating anything, you are trying to develop a muscle of self-control. You would see how powerful you are. If you can just fast without eating anything but drinking water, you need this. I think I'm done for now. Now, let's do something powerful again. I'm so excited. The 10 foods that you need to eat, 10 foods that will enhance your brain ability. I want to teach you something. Okay, I'll teach you tomorrow. Today, the 10 foods, this is how you remember them. How well do you know your body? How familiar are you with your body? I'm sure you know your body as well as you should. I don't mean the technical part. I just want you to know where your toes are, your ankles are, your knees, and all those things. So what I want you to do is, I want you to give a number to certain parts of your body. So this is what I mean. So number 1, it's your toes. I want you to touch your toes. Please touch your toes. That's your number 1. Number 1, it's toes. So when I ask you what's number 1, you would say toes. And then number 2, it's ankle, because the next part that comes after your toes, it's your ankles. So 2, it's ankles. And then 3, it's your knees. But please do me this favor. As I give you these numbers, I want you to do something with that. So when I say number 1, it's toes. Please, wherever you are, touch your toes. That's number 1. Number 2, it's ankle. Touch your ankles as number 2. 3, it's knees. Amadolo, knees. Touch your knees as number 3. And then 4, it's thighs. Thighs. Touch your thighs as number 4. And then number 5, it's stomach. Touch your stomach as number 5. 5 is stomach. And then number 6 is your wrist. Number 6 is your wrist. Touch your wrist as number 6. And then number 7, it's your elbow. Number 7, it's your elbow. Remember, 7, it's your elbow. And then 8 is your chin. 8 is your chin. And then 9 is your nose. 9 is your nose. Touch your nose as number 9. And then the last one is 10, your head. So what I want you to do now, I want you to write all of them so that I can see if you were listening from 1 being your toes, 2 being your ankle, knees, thighs, and all that. If you can do that with this, I will just give you 2 minutes to do that. Yeah, write all of them, 10 of them in that order. I want them sequentially. Sequentially. That's what the English is, sequentially. I want all of them, 10 of them, 10 of them. So don't write them one by one, write all 10. And then you give it to me. So toes is 1, yeah. I want all 10 of them so that I can know if you were listening or not. When you are lost, if une part oyi-1 ongasayikhumbuli, ask me, I'm here. So Kobe, that. Okay, Kobe, kune-1 oyimisile. You're missing 1. Nelly. Okay, I think you are winning, guys. A lot of you are winning. Mpumi, what's this? Wanginika my number. Are you not getting any? Are you winning, Mpumi? Okay, Mpumi, da. All right, let's do it again. Forgot the wrist, I see. So let's do it again, but this time we'll start from the head. So 10 is your head. 9 is your nose. 8 is your chin. 7, it's your elbow. 6 is your wrist. 5 is your stomach. And then 4 is your thigh. And then 3 it's your knees. And then 2 are your ankles. And then 1 toes. I thank you. Mcherere, awusakwazi ukubala now. Where's your 10? Okay. So if you have that, do you have any questions before I give you my next instruction? So wrist is number 6. Wrist is number 6. So the trick is when I give you the body part, you touch that body part so that your brain can interpret. The trick is when you are doing something. Remember yesterday we discussed that memory is not a spectator sport, but you need to do something so that you can make an impression on the brain. So I can see that a lot of you got it right. Oh, hips, Jerry, there are no hips, Baba. 5, it's supposed to be stomach, and then 6 is wrist. 7, it's elbow. And the family is right, but baba mdala, don't be that guy. So it's head, nose, chin, elbow, wrist. Yes, Nelly. Mpumi, let's see. Da, 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 da. Wrist, yes. Thigh, knees, ankle. Yes, perfect, Mpumi. So let's move to the next level again. So if you know all your body parts, if umuntu angawazi umzimba wakhe, I have an issue with you. But I hope everyone is with me. So when you know all your body parts, we are moving to the next level. So now I want you to close your eyes. Just relax. Relax. It's going to be the easiest task of them all. We are now going for the imagination. So what I want you to do is, I want you to imagine on your toes, which is the first place or the first station. On your toes, I want you to imagine stamping on blueberries and your toes become blue as a result of stamping with your toes. So when I ask you what's in your toes, it's blueberries. I want you to imagine blueberries on your toes. Do you get that? Blueberries on your toes. And then I'm moving to the next part, but please do not regress. Go with me. Don't worry about your brain. Your brain, God has created something powerful. So when I move with me. Never mind if you think that you have not memorized it well. Don't worry, just move with me. Your brain will surprise you. So the first part, it's your toes. On your toes, I want you to imagine blueberries. The second part is your ankle. Touch your ankles. Your ankles, I want you to imagine that bulging part of your ankle as walnuts. The second part, it's walnuts. So when I ask you what's happening with your second part, it's walnuts. Walnuts. Or imagine walnuts being cracked on your ankle. How painful will that be for you? So the trick with the memory is your imagination. It's what will imprint these things. So the first part, it's blueberries on your toes. Your toes are now blue as a result of blueberries. The second part is someone cracked walnuts on your ankles. We are moving to the third part, which is your knees. Touch your knees. On your knees, I want you to imagine a big broccoli leaf or big broccoli tree coming out from your knees. Broccoli coming out of your knees. I don't care about the size in your head, but the larger the broccoli on your knees, the better. See the color of the broccoli, it's green on your knees. I'm moving. The next part is your thigh. On your thigh, I want you to imagine legumes. Legumes are your beans, your lentils, your peas. So another thing that will remind you of legumes on your thighs, it's your legs, leg. So the word legume, leg, your thigh. So your thigh, you have legumes. So first it's blueberries, walnuts, broccoli. Now it's legumes. I'm moving along. On your stomach, which is number 5, I want you to imagine in your stomach planting seeds. Seeds like your flax seeds, your flax seeds, your sesame seeds, your pumpkin seeds on your stomach. So when you're touching your stomach, I want you to imagine your seeds being planted on your stomach. I'm moving along to the next part, which is your wrist. On your wrist, I want you to imagine dark chocolate, the most delicious dark chocolate that you have ever eaten. But I want you to see your wrist being a dark wrist. So the coloring of your wrist is very important for your memory. It's going to trigger what's happening there. So on your wrist, it's dark chocolate. I'm moving along to the next part, which is your elbow. On your elbows, I want you to imagine green leafy veggies coming out of your elbow. I know you are being childish right now, but that's what I want. The fastest learners that we have are kids. I enjoy teaching them for that reason. So on your elbows, I want you to imagine just big green leafy veggies, your spinach, your lettuce, your cabbage as your 7th part, which is on your elbow. So on your elbow, green leafy veggies are protruding out. The next part, it's on your chin. On your chin, I want you to imagine olive oil. Like Abu Aaron, they would have oil poured on their heads and then it will run down to their chin. So on your chin, I want you to imagine olive oil shining on your face and on your chin. Don't worry about remembering these things. It's gonna come to you, don't worry. We are moving to the second last one, which is the nose. On the nose, I want you to imagine your nose painted with turmeric. The color of turmeric is yellow. So it's either you do this with your nose. Turmeric, for those that do not know, turmeric is that condiment that we use to cook. But one thing that will help you to remember turmeric, just imagine the nose, Cyril Ramaphosa, because he's the one that is responsible for Tumamina. It will remind you immediately of turmeric. Tumamina, just imagine the nose, Cyril Ramaphosa, Tumamina, it rhymes with turmeric. Believe you me, it works. The last part is your head, which is avocado. Just imagine someone applying the avocado in your head. Avocado in your head. Let's see if you were listening. The only thing when you don't remember a certain part, your brain will process it and you will remember it. Asiqale from scratch foot. What was happening on your toes? 1 until 10. I know nkhulume kakhulu, but trust me, it should be in your head. So I want you to write all of them from your toes to your head, zibe 10, and then you post them. Ningas post 1. I want you to post them Z10 zinjalo. So just type them and then you post them sezizonke. So if you don't remember a certain part, just touch that part. You would remember, your brain will trigger it and then it will come back to you. Now I'm teaching you something. We are opening certain parts of your body. Okay, you've forgotten your knees. What's happening with your knees? Is that a drawing? Oh, Mpumi, ha, suka madoda. Mpumi, flying colors. Legumes, seeds, dark chocolate, yes. Green leafy veggies, yes. Mpumi, 10 out of 10. Kubi, yeah. Zikhumbule zonke from your body. So what you do is you go back to the body and you try to remember that body part with what was happening, what was attached to that part. It's as easy as that. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. Nkhuluma kakhulu so that I can disturb you. Even if I can disturb you, your brain, when it's concentrating, it wouldn't even hear what I'm saying. Kelvino, blueberries, walnuts, broccoli, legumes. We are shorter, Baba Kelvin, we are shorter. Broccoli, legumes, seeds, dark chocolate, green leafy veggies. Perfect, Nelly. Halala, 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 halala. Turmeric and the avocado. Nelly, you were listening. Halala. Kobu ngiga ma piece, man. Why ngiga ma piece meal? So ngicela nizibale. If Z10, I'm happy. Uteng, let me see. Yes, Uteng, I love it. Awukelvovo. Turmeric and avos. Ungena ngezi2 baba. Blackberries, walnuts, broccoli, legumes, seeds, dark chocolate, green leafy veggies, olive oil, turmeric, avocado. Mpumi, power. So bhala scope wena ma so bhala ilento manje memorandum. Is anyone struggling so that we can help you? Sisesenesikhathinyana namhlanje, we finished early. Is anyone struggling? But it seems like a lot of you guys are remembering these things. Karabo, let's see. Oh yeah. Perfect, Karabo. I like it. Is anyone struggling? Simncede. Just go to your body parts. It's as easy as that. Just try to remember what's happening in that body part Your body, in fact, your brain is going to be triggered and it will remember. Bongane there. Ziyashota bongane ziphi. Leafy veggies, olive oil, turmeric, avocado, perfect. So guys, you have actually remembered all 10. If you noticed how I was giving you instructions, for you to memorize anything, normally there are 3 things that we normally use. Frequency, when you say something repeatedly, it will stick in your head. I don't like that idea. It's too long, it consumes time, and it's tiring, it's tedious. So I don't like the frequency. And then the duration, when you say something for a long time or when you study for a long time, you're forcing your brain to get the idea or to get the knowledge. The third part is the one that I love the most, the level of intensity. So when you close your eyes and you think about these things that I gave you, you'll be able to remember all 10. What if I tell you that when you buy your groceries, normally you write the list down? From now on, try to use your body parts to remember all the items ozozithenga. So if uzothenga isinkwa, broccoli, ibisi, and all those things, try to place all those items ozozithenga on your body and see how many you would remember. You would see how powerful your brain is. Number 2, if you have memorized the body parts like I told you, do you know that you can post anything on your body? For me as a preacher, I no longer write my sermons down. So what I do is I take my points for those that are my offices where you do a lot of presentations, so you don't want to write it down. You can take my key points and attach them into your body parts. So makhuluma nabantu, you just remember on your head, what was the first point? It says easy, it will trigger like that. When I write exams, I normally take things and I post them on my body part. What I do, exam, I touch that body part and the brain triggers for that thing. So now we are using your body part. Yesterday, benginifundisa how to use stations. You even know my room better than I know it. It's as if niyakwazi ukuthi kunjani la kwami. So one thing that I want you to do as your homework, try to memorize your body part. Ngizobona kusasa how we use it. The way the method engifundisa yona is so powerful. In the morning or tomorrow when we talk, you'll be able to remember all these things as E10. It's because they are attached to your body. Your brain will just automatically remember them. So please try to remember them, and then tomorrow we are going to do the same exercise and you would see your brain would have retained all of it. Now, do you remember the exercise we did yesterday? Room lam. In room lami, you know the first part was the door, the sofa, the switch, the shower, and all those things. You know those things. The homework yako is this. I want you to remember 10 parts and 10 furniture items in your house. So I want you to label them in a sequence. So walker from your kitchen, the first part should be the door. What's the next thing that you see after the door? And after that thing, what's the next thing and the thing? So I want you to have 10 items for me from your house. Your house is familiar to you. So the more you know the familiar, it's going to be easy for me to give you into ngayazi and we attach it to the familiar. Your brain will easily recognize it and it will retain it. Do we have any questions? I think my instruction was clear. Your homework is simple. Remember your body parts. Remember these things. All the 10 things I gave you, those are the things that are very good for your brain. If you can eat these things continually, your brain will always remain fresh and you will always see the beauty of these things. So diet yako must compose all of these 10 things. I just limited, there are a lot of them, but let us see 10 are what are going to help you memorize a better for that matter. Baba Kelvin, are you happy now with your 10 items? Talk to me. Is everyone okay? Was my instruction clear? Your homework, 10 items in the house. Kelvin, I thank you, sir. So is my instruction clear for your homework? I want you to have 10 items. We can find something. When you are allergic to blueberries, we can find something else. Eat the other 9. You can also replace them. You can Mofunas Bay 10. You can include your fruits as well. You can include your coconut. Coconut is very good also for the brain. If you want to have 10 items, coconut, you can add that and remove the blueberries. Please mention the 10 things from your house. I want you to name them uvale namehlo, because I want you to know them going forward and going backwards. When you do that, it will be easy for me to post any information in your body. Are we okay? Yes, the Ngobese family, you are allergic to nuts, then you can avoid nuts. Remove them. As long as you can still eat seeds, I'm happy with that. Eat the seeds, eat the other 9 and avoid the nuts. Is my instruction clear? Any questions? Any questions? Any questions? Any questions? Any questions? If there are no questions, I think I'm done for the day. And then over to Ukuku. But please, guys, the homework is very important. Oh, now question, do you still remember my phone number? How many of you still remember my phone number? If you still remember my phone number, I want you to put it here. Or you do Uteng. Please send me a message. And then power ngobese. The family planning adopting, please. Even if number ngati wrong, there is not 303, it's supposed to be 030. Not 303. I know why nenzeni. Gutibe so. It's supposed to be 030. And I know where you went wrong. And I understand why. So it's supposed to be 030 8843. So what I want you to do, guys, always try to send, not even send a message, try to dial my number, even if you don't call me, but the more manually you dial it, it will remain, it will move from your short-term memory to your long-term. When it's now, if you can now remember it backwards and forwards, now you can add another number. I will teach you how to add another number. But for now, because your brain is still fresh to this idea, I want you to continue with this exercise for now. I think with that, I'm done, Gamer Cooks. 030, yes, Uteng, that's my number. Cooks, ndiqibile Mhlekazi.
Thank you, Brother Kwom. Thanks for the very enlightening presentation. Okay, that's practically where we're ending for tonight. And I really want to appreciate where you started, where you emphasized that really what's more important is that if we can put these old practices on the substratum, which is Christ, it gives it an interesting pull and push for us to be enthused to do the right thing. So really, we've been taking it the wrong way if we start with the diet and then Christ later. I think it's important that we start with Christ and put him as the substratum. And then from there, people would fall in love with every practice which issues out of godliness. So thank you very much for that. Let's meet again as around the same time, everyone.
Tomorrow it's Sabbath, right? Sabbath opening.
Sabbath opening, yeah.
So we're meeting the same earlier time as well.
I was given the impression that it is, but if it's not, I think we will communicate it with everyone because we are able to communicate with people in the various platforms.